Hello there! It is me, Dr. Izixs. Sort of with a tutorial of sorts. So the other day, I was watching a certain B-team themed live stream of some sort, and I noticed that they were having some concerns about their energy usage. Namely, they were wanting to use one of these quarry type devices. Now, these things are all sorts of useful. They basically dig a giant hole into the ground and give you all sorts of goodies. As you can see, there are a number of different engines you can apply to power these things. This one here being the least effective, the Redstone engine. Its power output is minuscule. In fact, so small the engine's sort of freaking out. Yeah. Now, the B team used for I haven't seen all the videos they have from their Feed the Beast series. But I did notice in the one that they're using electric engine. I'm not actually using the full Feed the Beast mod here. This is just buildcraft right now. So I'm going to talk about just the basic engines from it. The Redstone engine is the weak engine, and is usually good for just pumping water and moving items in and out of chests. It's pretty much ridiculous to try to use it for a quarry. So let's not even try. So, what other options do we have? We have the steam engine. So I've already tossed in, a stack of coal, and we've used up a few to build the frame and start digging a little bit. It's pretty slow, but it gets the job done, right? So for a stack of coal, you could probably get down to, I don't know, upper bedrock, as you might say, or like down 10 levels or something like that. So from what I recall, probably fairly similar to the electric engine, perhaps a little bit better as far as total power output, because you don't have to worry about power loss over cables and things like that. And also they're a little more stable as far as overheating. Now there is another engine that comes with the basic buildcraft setup, and that's the combustion engine. Now, combustion engines are over here. They're sort of doing their thing. I'll talk about why they're over there in a moment. But yeah, I started these at roughly the same time, and well, the combustion engine is certainly winning the speed challenge. So, but the combustion engine has a little bit more, I guess, infrastructure to worry about. First off, I actually have two of them here. Why? Because it's more efficient that way, actually. I guess I could put their steam engine on over there, but yeah, this is how I like to set them up for my quarries. So, first off, combustion engines here need cooling, so you pump in some water. How do you do that? Well, you have a pump somewhere, say over a lake or whatever, somewhere that can pretty much guarantee you an infinite supply of water. Do be warned, though, that pumps do have a odd habit of draining large lakes, so I actually put a pump like this in the ocean once, in my main series, that has, well, it started draining the ocean edges, so it's looking a little silly there. Yes, also, combustion engines, being that they're, like car engines, you need, like, fuel. Fuel, where do you come by that? Well, it doesn't just pop out of the ground. Oil does, though. So, assuming you can pump out a bunch of oil and put it where you need it, then you can say, okay, oil, what do I do with you? Well, you pump it out of your tower here, and you put it in a refinery. Well, the refinery is all well and good, but the refinery itself needs power. Oh dear. So I have a couple combustion engines here. Now, there is an alternative, fuel source to combustion engines. You could put fuel directly into them, but you get a lot more power out of having, fuel going in to combustion engines than you do oil. So, like, one bucket of oil will get you, in a setup like this, will get you about 8 units of fuel out of your refinery. So after you get that first little bit in, you can put some fuel back into your engines here. Watch they get a little orange to keep an eye on that. I'm gonna check the water level. The water level's a little low here, so I'm gonna shut these off. I guess it's not pumping quickly enough here. So that's why I have the water tower over here, and I probably should have put one here. Oh well. But anywho, where was I? Yes, so you first get a bucket of oil, put it in one of your combustion engines, use your conductive pipe to power your refinery, which you feed the rest of the oil in, and then take that fuel from the refinery, which you can store in some place, pump it out, and return it back to your combustion engines that run the refinery, and off to whatever quarries or other devices that take this kind of power that you like. So that's the basics of combustion engines. They're very useful, and the best thing of all, they don't take any coal, at least after initial setup, that is. So if you want to save on coal and not having to worry about other types of power infrastructure, and you just want to dig a giant hole without actually having to do any work, get it set up like this going. Make sure you have, oops, another water tower though. Yes, I'm in creative, don't worry about it. So then what happens if, say, you forget to, water your engines here? What do they can overheat? Well, yes. Come on over here, and I'll show you. So, we're over here now at the far away from my other stuff quarry, with just the fuel tower, a redstone engine to pump it out of the tower, the pipe going into the engine itself, the quarry, and the pipe going elsewhere. Should probably speed up that gold pipe. Gold pipes are very useful. See, they just speed up whatever's going through them. It's quite nice. I highly recommend them. Anyway, where was I? Yes, quarries, combustion engines, quarries, combustion engines, quarries. Love that word, quarry. Now, as I wait for this thing to heat up, you might notice, hey, you put your quarry over a bit of water. That's actually not a bad idea, because oftentimes underground there is lava, and quarries don't like, well, digging through lava. They will take off any block around it, anything above it, but they won't go through it. So, put water over top your area here. When the quarry digs down and reaches some lava, the lava will turn to obsidian. Then the quarry's like, oh, it's a block I could pick up, and so you now get free obsidian. It's kind of nice. Great way to get obsidian if you need it. In fact, in my main world, it's much more common to have obsidian, lying around in giant chests everywhere than it is to have anything like brick or something like that. It's like super, super abundant now for me. So, while we wait, let's ponder the dryness of this engine, and, well, wait for it to overheat. Looky here. It's gone all red. It's quite hot. In fact, ow, that hurts to touch. Ha ha ha. Okay, not really, because, it's a video game and all that. But anywho, this combustion engine here is getting pretty up there. Now, among the various things that can heat up an engine, especially a combustion engine, besides lack of water, is if the power from it's not being sort of used up at all. So my redstone engine that wasn't, actually doing anything was still heating up, even though the quarry it was attached to wasn't doing anything, because it was like struggling against the base resistance of the system. Excuse me if I sound a little off right now. I've been kind of sick lately. Anywho, so when this thing decides to go, I expect, to lose all sorts of nice and happy, fun things, like my quarry, my box of goodies. Apparently just shot a piece of coal in there, maybe. My redstone engine, my precious, precious redstone engine, and of course a bunch of fuel. That would be, of course, sad, because that means less power for the future. And so make sure you provide plenty of water to your combustion engines. Otherwise, bad stuff happens. But remember, combustion engines are very good, because, you can use that coal you'd be saving to, say, make solar panels, or perhaps make industrial diamonds. Yes, for a stack of coal, you can make 1 diamond. Ha 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 ha. That's in industrialcraft there, which I'm pretty sure applies to Feed the Beast in that case. Ah! And that's why, kids, we make sure to water our combustion engines. Look at this freaking hole. That's like a bunch of TNT there, type equivalent explosion. It's damaged all the way over freaking here. Or maybe this decays now, and I forget. I'm using the most up-to-date version of buildcraft and industrialcraft right now in this particular install. So, okay, so, alright, so maybe you want to be stubborn, maybe you want to keep with your electric engines. Well, there is, I guess, sort of an alternative source of energy that you could be applying as opposed to using up all your precious coal. Join me in a slightly different scene. Whee! But first, let me come back over here real quick, see how all this is doing. So we've used up a little bit of our fuel here, mainly just pumping into the things. We've refined some oil, and we're now getting freaking deep. See? So this is pretty effective. This is over here. Our combustion engine's still very cool. It's gotten down there-ish. And, ha ha ha. Anywho, on to the other world! Whee! Now welcome to my Tower of Ultimate Power in my friend's Tech-It world. Yeah, it's a little over the top in here, but it's all cool, right? So, I'm here to show you your other power need, or option, I guess. I saw in your live stream, I believe it was, an attempt to use a device sort of like this. Now, I'm saying a device sort of like this and sort of wave my claws at the big bit of blocks here for a very important reason. See, these are to shield the rest of my stuff from nuclear explosions, because I got a reactor in here, baby. So, first off, you can see here the sort of centrally dealio here. You sort of put the reactor in the middle, and you put the reactor chambers on each side. The reactor chambers not only reduce the chance of explosion by increasing the heat capacity, but also give you more room. Now, you can see here a nice arrangement. Excuse my semi-cheating here. I currently have mod powers. It's a little weird. Where was I? The arrangement here, you can see, is, 4 uranium cells here, some integrated heat dispensers, and lots of coolant cells, and sort of repeat the pattern. This is a fairly decent and fairly efficient reactor setup. It's good for at least one cycle before it needs to cool down, and it's generally kind of awesome. Right now the reactor is actually turned off because buried underneath there is actually a redstone torch. So to turn it on, all I need to do is put a torch right there, and since I technically have cheating powers right now, it's semi-creative right now. It's weird. Turn that on. Get the Geiger counter going. And bam. See? The power is drawn out of the uranium cells. The uranium cells aren't overheating. They're not causing explosions. And the heat is being drawn off and released safely in all sorts of directions here. Now this provides me a good, decent amount of power. You can see this filling up pretty quickly, and should, for most folks, be a good enough power source for pretty much anything unless you're crazy like me. I always, of course, need more power. Oh. Yeah. So, if you want to gain real ultimate power, this might be a good option for you. Otherwise, figuring out those solar panels would be a good idea. And, there are a number of other power options. Another favorite of mine, which I don't unfortunately have a setup for right now, is going to the nether and getting a geothermal generator going. Sure, it means you have to sit in the nether while it does stuff, but, that's how it goes sometimes.